one. Hello everybody, Tobin here, and we'll be continuing off with Lucy, the eternity she wished for. The last episode, we found out a little bit more about her past. And we've just arrived home. So, let's continue the story. I unlocked the front door and enter the house. Unlike usually, I could sense somebody's presence inside. I could hear a couple of voices coming from the television inside the living room. My father appears to have returned home early. It makes me feel uneasy. A ton of dots because I don't know how to deal with my father. That's a joke, okay? I effortlessly removed my shoes using only my feet. Come to think of it, I was always home alone. It's always been this way ever since I've grown old enough to take care of myself. Before that, we usually have shopkeepers watching over the place. Housekeepers, sorry. However, that was only until I began middle school. From then on, I was always by myself. I would eat breakfast alone and would eat dinner alone. The cycle would repeat endlessly. I don't even remember the last time we all ate dinner together as a family. There's no such thing as a home-cooked meal in this household. I've eaten so many different kinds of instant foods in my life that I've come to memorize every product of every brand. My father puts his work before his family. That's not a good father. And my new mother follows my father everywhere to support him while practically ignoring me. That was my family. Oh great. At this point, it actually feels out of place to see someone home. Are we going to see the father? My father is on the couch watching television. Do we see him? Oh. You're back. Boy. He doesn't even turn around to face me. That implies he's not in a good mood. Yes, father. You're very late. I checked the time. I wasn't actually that late. There are times when I would be back much later. I wonder if this man knows how old I am. Where have you been wandering around for so long? Don't you know you'll be in college soon? A ton of dots because he's going to be that type of father. I don't bother replying. Say it's the guy who never paid attention to me. I think to myself, I don't get along too well with my father. Our relationship completely compares badly with other families. But that's to be expected. We've never spent much equal time together, going to the zoo or playing soccer together. I don't have any of those fond memories that other kids at my age probably have. The earliest memories are of my father's stern face. It would be even more bizarre if we actually got along. I stand in silence as the old man launches his next attack. Are you not listening to me? A ton of dots. He still doesn't bother looking at me. I've gotten used to minding my own business. We keep to our own devices. To solve any conflicts within a family, you would normally need to sit down together and talk about it. But my father doesn't think there's any need for that. He thinks everything is fine the way it is. It would be really painful to talk face to face with that man, though. I just stopped by somewhere on the way home. Yeah, I'll just deal with our usual exchange. As long as I don't make him angry, that's good enough for me. I just need to maintain the peace between us. Oh shoot, Lucy. It's always been this way. Oh, I know what Lucy's probably going to be doing. As usual, I try my best not to rock the boat. I don't know what you kids are up to these days. But remember that students like you should be studying. I'm saying this for your sake. A ton of dots. So stop hanging around with those brats who only know how to care about having fun. You can't afford to lose sight of your main goal. Stay focused. Yep, he's clearly one of those fathers. I'll be going to my room now. With that said, I try to make an escape. Our conversation would usually end about here, but Lucy, who'd been in silent all this time, decided to whisper something into my ear.
失礼ですが、マスター、あの方はマスターのお
Here
父
comes
様です
Lucy.
か？
Pardon, Lucy, but would that person be his father? Oh no. I hesitated whether I should tell her or not. In the end, I quietly whispered back, Yeah. Lucy tapped my shoulders.
マスター、もう下ろしてください。
Master, please let Lucy down. I had no choice but to grant her her wish. Maybe Lucy's voice had caught him by surprise. Because my father, you finally turned to face me. He was wearing a wide and bird look. Who's your guess? Oh no. Oh no. With the widest smile, Lucy grabbed onto the edges of her skirt. She performs a flawless curtsy that would make a princess
は
envious
じめまして、お父様。
before.
多目的用途として作られたアンドロイド、ルーシー・バレンタインと申します。
Oh no. Hello. Before father is an android with unlimited capacities. Lucy Valentine.
今日からこちらのお世話になることになりましたので、何卒よろしくお願いいたします。
Oh no. Lucy will be in father's care from now on, so I hope she will get along nicely with everyone. What? It's just the robot. His attitude changes completely. The sharpness in his tone tastes every part of my body. But Lucy doesn't seem to notice. Oh no. Or rather, she's pretending not to. She continues with a smile.
掃除、洗濯、料理、何でもお任せください。
Cooking, cleaning, and laundry. Please leave everything to
ルーシ
Lucy.
ーは 一般家庭における多くの家事をプロ並みにこなすことができます。
Household chores are no match for Lucy. Sorry, I'm sorry, but there's nothing we need from a robot in this family. I suggest that you look somewhere else to stay.
申し訳ございませんが、お父様。
Please exclude Lucy.
ルーシーにできることは数えきれないくらいありますよ。
But there is a lot more that she can do than simple chores. Oh no. A ton of dots because I hate this robot. Not actually, but hey. Oh no, this is not looking good. Meanwhile, Lucy continues to ramble on, completely oblivious of what is about to happen.
先ほど申し上げた以外にも、お父様が心配なさっている息子さんのための教育も可能です。
Oh no. Lucy can also help refine Father's previous incarnations regarding his son.
もちろん、素晴らしい教師の教育法を厳選して参考にしています。
Lucy is the perfect educational tool with access to lectures given by world-renowned professors and various universities. She talks as if she's about to become my personal tutor.
それ以外にも優秀な機能はたくさんあります。
Lucy has a lot more features.
お裁縫や不自由のない暮らしのための家政婦の仕事など。
Such as sewing, plumbing, and... Where did you get this piece of junk? Get out of my sight! His angry outburst is sudden as it's intense. It caught Lucy off guard. She stumbles back in alarm. No surprises here. I saw all this coming from a mile away. It's a present from a friend. Oh, what the... It's a present from a friend. I lied instinctively. If I honestly tell him that I found her in the trash, he'd definitely force me to take her back there. I'll just say that I got her from Dr. Gears. My father knows his managers. Managers? There's no way he will make me throw away a present. Huh? Really? You haven't stopped being a troublemaker since you were little. What have I always told you? Robots are always ruining society. Did you forget all about that? A ton of dots. My father's always been like this. Robots are becoming increasingly more common. They are gradually making their ways into our daily lives. But my parents consider them as intruders infiltrating human society. They're unable to catch up with the shifts in technology while they refuse to let go of their traditional ways. They simply refuse to coexist with robots. Thanks to that, I grew up hearing nothing but bad things about robots. But what's wrong with keeping one around the house? What's wrong, you ask? You've read that most families own androids nowadays. Why can't we keep one around for convenience? I clearly added fuel to the fire. Convenient? You think about the type of people that care about convenience. Convenience makes us lazy. And when we are lazy, our minds don't work properly. Convenience makes our minds weak. A ton of dots, because I think I've changed his voice somehow. It's obvious how they'll live the rest of their lives. Without realizing that they're hopelessly lazy, they'll end up living a meaningless existence. Ton of dots. I've really lost count how many times I've heard this from him. Today's lecture is Valiant B. It goes from A to Z, by the way. I'm so sick of this. I just want to wrap up this conversation so I can leave as soon as possible. Anyway, I've accepted it already, so we should keep it. I'm the one who's going to be using it, so why do you care? And who's the one going to be paying for the electricity? Who taught you to be so selfish? I'm starting to reach my limit. Come on. I want to leave. Then I'll pay for it. I can get a part-time job. A job? You're getting a job? You're going to work when you should be studying? Yes. Do you even realize how important this phase in your life is? These years in high school could decide the rest of your future. With those permissions, are you planning to work? Kids like you should be studying. Keep your mouth shut and study. Well, I'll pay you back when I grow up, so just leave me alone, damn it! I scream at the top of my lungs. His eyes widen in shock. That was to be expected. I've never raised my voice in front of my parents. You can't do this. You can't do that. Then what the heck do you expect me to do? I'm so furious that I can almost feel steam rising from my head. At the same time, my father's eyes quickly narrowed and began burning with rage. Yep. Time slows down and I'm left struggling to perceive what just happened. I standed in place, holding my sore cheeks as I stared at my father in shock. Not knowing what to do, Lucy is fidgeting non-stop. When did you learn to be so stubborn? I've never raised you this way. A ton of dots. Shocked and humiliated, I can no longer calm my fury, so I turned around and stormed off towards my room. I pulled Lucy along with me.
Master?
Oh, Master! Hesitating, Lucy eventually makes a short bow to my father and tags along. Behind me, I hear my father yelling. I shut it all out as my blind rage is nearly overpowering. Entering my room, I locked the door behind me. I hear my father yelling as he continuously banging on my door for a while. Oh boy. I'm not sure how many minutes have gone by. Feels like an eternity. But if I block my ears, I can still hear the door shaking. I curled up my body and waited for the moments to pass. As the clock slowly ticks away, after a long while I uncovered my ears. The noise had stopped and I finally began to relax. My head eventually clears up and realize what I've done. Phew! I finally lost control. I yelled at my father for the first time in my life. It's been a while since the last time I was hit by my father. Looks like the reputing of the death of a dam after so much pressure and strain. Thinking back, it was strange that we've never had any direct confrontation like this one. Our relationship was like an unstable bomb. I had always managed to prevent it from going off. But today was different. Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. Hey, I tried to slow down my breathing. Master? Lucy called out to me curiously. What is it? Is Master alright? I wonder what she's meaning by alright. Nothing's alright. But I know what she meant, so I'll give her a small nod anyway. With a wet handkerchief from who knows where, Lucy wipes down my sweaty forehead. The fruity smell of her perfumes surprisingly calmed. Is calming.
気に障ったら申し訳ございませんが、マスター。
Master, with all due respects. What is it?
お父様にあんな言い方は良くないと思います。
It's not alright to use that sort of language with Master's father. My face quickly becomes contorted with anger. What the heck? You're also telling me that I'm a bad person? Lucy shakes her head.
悪いとは言っていません。
Lucy isn't saying that Master is bad.
でも、お父様と話すときは、もう少し優しく言った方がいいと思います。
But Lucy thinks that Master should be polite towards his parents.
家族ではないですか。きっと心の中では傷ついていると思いますよ。
Lucy's family. Father was probably hurt inside. Oh? You don't think that I'm bad, huh? When you're the one telling me that my fault is eternally? I was the one hurt. He was the one who hurt me. My head is aching, so drop it and leave me alone. Lucy, who had been squirming about, got completely still. Both her eyes suddenly lost their colour. After a while, she sprang back to life.
しかしマスター、メモリーチップに記録された通常の家庭問題を検索してみた結果、
Master, in regards to the information on Lucy's memory chip, investigations various scenarios regarding family conflict shows
家
that
庭不和を招くと思われる会話類型の中に マスターとお父様の間に起こったパターンの過程が多数検出されました。
The conversation between Master and his father was found to be one of the least desirable outcomes. What are you talking about?
論理的に考えると、マスターの行動は二次問題を招く可能性があります。
Logically speaking, if it means that additional repercussions may arise from this incident if Master takes no action.
この問題を解決するためには、まずはマスターが過ちを認め、お父様に謝罪を。
To solve this issue, Master should recognize his mistakes and apologize to. Is that? I'm not that type of person, sorry. Your explanations don't even make sense, and you're calling it logical. You wouldn't understand the thing anyway.
はい。ルーシーが見たのは何かと言いますと？
Huh? What wouldn't Lucy understand? What can you possibly tell from watching us for just 5 minutes? What did you exactly find out about us? How can you say something so ignorant without knowing anything about the past 18 years we've spent together? The android tilts its head, looking confused. Answer this. How many minutes are there in a day?
1440分です。
1,440 minutes. How many in a year? Oh, shoot.
525600分です。
Oh, no. So that's 52,056,000 minutes. Oh my gosh. What about the 18? About 18 years.
946万800分です。
That's 1,946,800 minutes. As expected from a robot, her calculations were quick and accurate. That's right. Out of the 946,800 minutes I've spent with my father, you've only seen 5. That's less than 0.001%, an insignificant amount. It's my fault that you've had to witness something like this. But that man is always finding the smallest excuse to teach me things that only he himself believes. Think of it as throwing out an entire pan of pizza because a single burnt piece of pepperoni. Where's your logic in that? Alright. With that, I'll be calling it here. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Thank you for watching!